It's the Equipment Corner.
You know, clubs, bags, shoes, gloves, shirt, pants.
Experts from around the world explain the technology behind the toys.
Hey, orange balls. I'll have a box of those. And give me 2 of those. Give me 6 of those. Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh?
Well, folks, with the winter we've been having, we needed a little breath of fresh air, a little sunshine. We've been getting it from wherever we can. This week's Equipment Corner helps us with that. We've got Sean Gregg. He is the Director of Product Development from Antigua. You know all the great shirts and outerwear they've made over the years. Well, he's based in Peoria, Arizona, where the sun's shining. And, Sean, it's great to have you with us on Golf Talk Live.
Thank you, Tony. Nice to be here.
Well, Sean, I've always liked the Antigua line because of the little bit of a desert feel out there. I worked in 97, 98, a couple of winters out in the area there and in the Phoenix area, and I really got caught up in the whole Southwest thing, and you guys sort of have perpetuated that a little bit in your styles.
Well, what we've done is actually we have a proprietary moisture-wicking product that we put on all our golf shirts, our performance golf shirts, that we call Desert Dry, actually, named after the desert here. And it is really exclusive to us, and it's really a two-process moisture wicking, so it's very effective, very efficient, where we take the fabrics that we develop, men's and women's golf wear, and we do it in the constructional phase of knitting the fabrics, constructing the fabrics. It's processed so that it's done as a moisture wicking built in the construction. Going even further in the finishing process, we treat the fabrics that also has an additional enhancement to this moisture wicking, and since we built it out here, we've let it Desert Dry. And then what we're also doing this coming next season, we're shipping right now for this next spring is our Desert Dry Extra Light, which is pretty much taking our Desert Dry and then taking ultralight fabrics and putting it on to these moisture wicking treatments onto these fabrics so that they're even more efficient. So they dry even faster, wick even faster, lighter on the body, less restriction during play for the movement of the fabrics and so on. So it's really everything we do out here, we kind of all tested out here in the nice desert.
Well, you know, it's hard for us to think of this right now, but before we know it, we'll be back in this hot, sticky humidity of Philadelphia summers when we're sweating to death, and a good moisture-wicking golf shirt means the world to us, not only for comfort, but for the ability to play the game well.
And it's, really not just here in the desert where, everybody says it's a dry heat. Also in the humid climates, around the country, these things perform very well. And anyone who's had the moisture-wicking garments knows that if they throw it into a dryer after they've taken it out of the washing machine and they throw it in along with their cottons, and you dry it, 5 minutes later, these moisture-wicking shirts will be dry. The same thing happens when you're out playing on the course, where even though you're in humid weather where you are, it just keeps evaporating off the body. Even though you're perspiring, as soon as you walk in the clubhouse, a minute later, 5 minutes later, you're completely dry. It doesn't stick to you. If you're wearing a cotton shirt or mercerized shirt, you're half an hour of sitting there completely wet.
Well, let's get around to the styles, because that's what caught my eye. And aside from the technology in Antigua shirts, the styles help to make you Product of the Month here on Golf Talk Live. And you guys are always on the cutting edge. I think you always got the stuff that really catches a guy's eye.
Well, I spent 20 years in New York City designing, and then had the opportunity to come out here to Antigua and head up the golf wear. And we looked at it as a great opportunity because at that time, a few years ago, the whole golf industry had changed to go into these performance fabrics, and they were just, the mentality previously with everyone in golf wear was, let's just take, the old man's golf shirt look, and we'll just, we'll treat it and make it moisture wicking. And the mentality here in Antigua was, let's make it current fashion product that everybody wants to wear. With the internet and everything else, everybody is so current in fashion. Guys especially know about the technology of the product. They know about what they like to wear, the colors, the hand feel of the fabrics, and so on. So we decided to develop not just the technology behind it, but also a good-looking product. And we really merchandise the line with color stories and fabrications that lay nice in the golf shop, are easy for someone to go in and say, look at a shirt and say, that's a really nice-looking shirt, I want to wear that, and it also performs.
Yeah, not just talking Antigua, but golf in general. I mean, we now have more golfers who treat the sport as a real sport that they have to train for. We have more golfers that are looking like athletes. And as a result, you've got fashions that are more athletic wear. And, it was only a natural progression, I think.
Absolutely. Tennis, it started with it. Running shirts, it started with it. And then when golf, finally realized that they are a sport and, people are out there perspiring on the golf course, it is, 4.5 hours of being out in the sun, that, you should be wearing something that is comfortable, that is going to perform like an athlete would, and so on. And so the golf industry got on board with this. And people have talked about, well, this trend of the performance has been around for a while. When is it going to, maybe go back to cottons? And I've always looked at it that there's no reason for it. Like, running shirts are not going to go back to cotton just because they've been doing performance for a while. I think golf is going to stay with this performance because they realize it is a performance sport. It really is.
Yeah. Well, Sean, thank you very much for the update on the industry there. We appreciate it. We're not just looking at colors anymore. We're looking at things that are going to help us to play better and feel better out on the golf course. Antigua's done a great job of it, and, that's why you're Product of the Month. Thanks for being with us on Golf Talk Live.
Thank you very much, Tony. Appreciate it.
And we're back at Play Around Golf on Lancaster Pike in Malvern.